Hi guys, in this video I'm going to discuss about plant life cycle and alternation of generation. And before starting with the life cycles, actually let's see some key points which will be used in this complete life cycle. And even the questions are asked on those key points also, and number of different questions are conceptual based questions are asked in exams every year. So let's see those key points. Number one is that the zygote, which is formed by the fusion of gametes, they are always diploid. So zygote is always diploid. So whatever the life cycle we will see, the zygotes will be always twin, will be always diploid. Zygote always diploid. Diploid means we'll mark it with 2n. These ploidy levels are important. Questions are formed on these ploidy levels. Then point number 2. Now we have the gametes. So remember whether the main plant body is haploid or diploid. The gametes will be always haploid. So next point is about the gametes. Always haploid. Now, if we know these points, it will help us to easily understand the life cycle and the alternation of generations. It is haploid, represented by N. Now, third point, number 3, we all know these points, but we are just gathering all the points or our complete knowledge about the gametophytes and sporophytes, different ploidy levels these plants are having. So coming to point number 3 about the gametophytes we are going to discuss, and gametophytes are haploid structures. Gametophytes are haploid, that is they are N, or we can call them as haploid also. So if I say gametophyte, it means I'm talking about the haploid stage of the plant. Point number 4, now we are done with gametophyte, so we'll talk about the sporophyte now. Sporophyte, this is always diploid, that is it is always 2n diploid. So whether it is an algae or whether it is a bryophyte or angiosperm, the sporophytes will be always diploid. Now coming to point number 5, if the gametophyte is there, means haploid body is there. I'll write the term haploid body. If haploid body are there, then these haploid bodies will form the gametes by the process of equational division, by the process of mitosis. So the gametes are formed by which type of division? The gametes are formed by mitosis or equational division. Clear? Now coming to the diploid body, point number 6. If the body is diploid, then what type of division will be there for the gametes formation? Reductional division will be there, because 2n need to be converted into n, as gametes are always haploid. So gametes formed by which type of division? Gametes are formed by meiosis or reductional division. So haploid bodies are forming gametes by equational division, where the ploidy level remains the same, and in case of diploid bodies, meiosis, that is reductional division, will be there, and the diploid body will form the haploid gamete. Coming to the next point about the zygote formation, point number 7. Now the zygote is formed by the zygote will form the haploid body by meiosis. So we have this zygote with us, and this zygote will form a haploid body, means the type of divisions in this haploid body formation from zygote will be the meiosis or reductional divisions. Meiosis. So these are key points. If you remember these key points, writing the life cycle or seeing alternation of generations become very, very easy for us. Next point, now we'll talk about the formation of diploid body from the zygote. So we have got the zygote again, and this time The mitosis division or equational division is going to form the diploid body. So diploid body is formed by what type of division? It is formed by equational division or mitosis. So these are key points on which the questions are asked a number of times, and we can easily write the life cycles of the plants. Now coming to this term alternation of generation. So alternation of generation means there is alternate gametophytic and sporophytic stage in a life cycle of any plant. So we can say that the alternation between gametophyte and sporophyte in a life cycle. Between gametophyte, this is haploid stage, gametophyte and sporophyte in a life cycle of an organism. Clear? So we'll clearly see this alternation of generation in the life cycle of the organisms. Now let's see the different types of life cycle we have to discuss. So guys, basically there are two types of life cycle. Basically, how many types of life cycle are there? Two types of life cycle. What are they? We have seen those life cycle in the diversity chapter. This chapter itself, plant kingdom, in which this topic is there. The first one we have got is haploid or haplontic life cycle. Haplontic life cycle, and the second one is diplontic life cycle. Diplontic life cycle. Now, there is one more type of life cycle given in the NCERT, and that is haplodiplontic life cycle number 3. Haplodiplontic life cycle. Clear? Now, we'll be discussing all these types of life cycles one by one, and now we have the first one with us. That is haplontic life cycle. Haplontic life cycle. Now, one point you need to keep in mind that in haplontic life cycle, the sporophytic generation is represented only and only by the zygote. So let's write the specific point or key point for this type of life cycle, what it is. Sporophytic generation is represented by only zygote. Represented by zygote only. It means that only zygote is the diploid structure in the complete life cycle. And now I'll show you how this life cycle goes. So we'll start with this zygote, that is a diploid structure 2N. Now this zygote is going to produce the spores by the process known as meiosis. So reductional division will be there and haploid spores will be formed. Haploid spores N. Now these haploid spores will germinate into the gametophytic stage. Gametophyte, and this gametophyte is also haploid. So you can see that this diploid stage or sporophytic generation is getting converted into the gametophytic generation, and now in this gametophyte will form the gametes again by the process known as gametogenesis. Gametogenesis means process of formation of gametes. Gametogenesis, and this gametophyte is going to form the gametes These gametes will be also haploid, so normal equational division will be there. And finally, what happens? These gametes will have the fusion. The fusion of gametes is there, which is known as syngamy, and it leads to the formation of a diploid zygote. So again, the gametophytic generation is converting into the sporophytic generation. So you can see clearly there is a alternation of generations. One sporophytic, again gametophytic, again sporophytic in the next life cycle. That's how the haplontic life cycle goes, where only and only the zygote is the sporophytic generation. Now, there is no free living sporophyte found in this haplontic life cycle. The zygote is going to be dependent on the parent gametophyte, so no free living sporophytes are there. Examples are there which are important. So let's see the examples now. Example. Various algae are going to have this haplontic life cycle. So many algae, and in many algae also we have some standard examples on which questions are asked. That is volvox. Another one is Spirogyra. And then we have some species of Chlamydomonas. So Chlamydomonas species. Chlamydomonas species. So these are three examples which you need to remember. There are some more algal members which do not have haplontic life cycle. We'll see those examples in their respective life cycle. This is all about the haplontic life cycle we have got. Now let's move to the next type of life cycle, that is diplontic life cycle. Diplontic life cycle. In this life cycle, the gametophytic generation will be represented by only the gametophyte, which is haploid structure, and it can be one cell to many cells. So let's write the key point of diplontic life cycle. Gametophytic phase, by haploid gametophyte only. Haploid gametophyte only. This gametophyte can be one cell to many celled. It's not necessarily needed to be one celled structure. Now coming to the members which will have this type of, we can say, the life cycle. So basically all the seeded plants will have this life cycle. That is, the gymnosperms and angiosperms have diplontic life cycle. So we can say all seeded plants, and they include both the angiosperms and gymnosperms. Now let's see the life cycle, which starts with the sporophyte. The sporophyte will be a diploid structure to N. This sporophyte will form the gametes, and the gametes will be formed by the process known as gametogenesis. Gametogenesis means formation of gametes, and here what type of division will be there? Meiosis will be there. Meiosis division leads to the formation of haploid gametes. So these gametes are haploid N structures. The gametes will fuse by the process of syngamy to form another structure that is known as zygote, and the zygote will be a diploid structure 2N. This process of fusion is known as syngamy, or fertilization of the gametes. Now the zygote will now form the diploid sporophyte, or will germinate into the sporophyte. So this is complete diplontic life cycle, where you can see that only the haploid gametes are there, rest all the structures are diploid. Now we have got the third type of life cycle, that is haplodiplontic life cycle. Haplodiplontic life cycle is the type of life cycle in which the haploid and diploid structures both are present in more than one number. Means the other than the gamete, the haploid structures are there, and other than the zygote, diploid structures are also there. So we can say that this haplodiplontic, and one more type similar to this is there, that is diplohaplontic. I'll tell you the difference between the two also. Diplohaplontic. Now, these are actually the intermediate life cycles. Means in somewhere in between the haploids and the diploid members will have this type of life cycle. So these are intermediate life cycle. Next point is that these will have multicellular, means both the phases will be multicellular. The gametophytic and sporophytic phase will be multicellular. So both phases are multicellular. And now we have this examples. So the haplodiplontic life cycle, haplodiplontic life cycle will be seen in case of bryophytes, and this diplohaplontic type of life cycle is seen in case of pteridophytes. Diplohaplontic in case of pteridophytes. The reason is, I'll tell you what is the difference. In case of haplodiplontic, the dominant stage or the main body is haploid, or we can say it is gametophyte, whereas in case of pteridophytes, diplohaplontic life cycle, because main body is diploid. Main body is diploid. So this is the reason to have the two types of intermediate names, haplodiplontic and diplohaplontic. Now let's see the life cycles of these individuals. So we have the sporophyte to begin with. Sporophyte, which is a diploid structure 2N. The sporophyte will form these spores by the process of meiosis, and these spores are going to be the haploid structures. So what type of division is there? Meiosis will be there. Now, after this meiosis, the spores will now germinate into a haploid structure, that is gametophyte. Another generation we have, and this gametophyte, which is a haploid structure, will form the gametes by the process known as gametogenesis. So the structures formed are gametes, and the process is gametogenesis. These gametes will fuse to form the zygote. Means syngamy will be there to form the zygote. And gametes are haploid structures, zygotes are diploid structures. We know the zygote will now germinate into the sporophyte again. So this is the complete life cycle where more than the gametes and zygote, the multicellular phases are there. You can see the sporophytes are there, gametophytes are there. So such life cycle is known as haplodiplontic or diplohaplontic life cycle. Now one specific point I need to tell you about the pteridophytes, that they have independent alternation of generation. In all other members we saw there is alternation of generations, but in case of pteridophytes they have independent alternation of generation. Means here the gametophytic and sporophytic generations will get alternated again and again, but the gametophytes and sporophytes will be independent of each other, hence the name given independent alternation of generation. This is the three types of life cycle we have got. Now some important examples are there of the algae which do not have haplontic life cycle, like Ectocarpus, Ectocarpus, another member we have, that is Polysiphonia. Polysiphonia. And the other one we have got is Kelps. These individuals have haplodiplontic life cycle. So these are the members of algae, but they have haplodiplontic life cycle. Haplodiplontic. Similarly, we have some other members of the algae which have the diploid life cycle, and that is Fucus. So Fucus has diplontic life cycle. So these examples are important, guys. A number of times questions are asked in various exams. And here we are done with this chapter, that is alternation of generations and the life cycle of plants. Please like this video, share with your friends, and subscribe the channel if you haven't subscribed it yet.